Christians, the Pharisees in this passage, kept insisting on prodding the blind man who had been healed by Christ and received his sight. They kept badgering him with a battery of questions about Christ and saying that he was a sinner and asking the blind man how it was that Christ healed him and all these different things. And they kept asking these questions over and over again. And then finally, the blind man, in a little bit of frustration, he says, do you also want to become his disciples? In verse 27. And in verse 28, it says, they reviled him and said, you are his disciple, but we are Moses' disciples. Now, this is interesting because this man was blind from birth. Jesus healed him. The Pharisees didn't like it. The man is defending Christ and defending what Christ had done to and for him. And then he asked the question, why do you guys keep asking? Do you want to be his disciples? And they're like, no, we are Moses' disciple. And then they say to him, you are his disciple. They tell the blind man, you are Christ's disciple, as if they were mocking and ridiculing him. But see, we as Christians, we consider it a compliment. But one thing that I want to point out here is that real Christians, true Christians, are known to be such by those who are not. They know who we are. And you don't have to wear a cross around your neck or a what would Jesus do bracelet. Or you don't have to have a shirt that talks about how much you love Jesus Christ. Unbelievers, one thing they know who the true believers are. I'm not talking about them agreeing with what you are or wanting to become a Christian because you are. They know the true believers. We don't need to have any signs or placards. We don't need to have any jewelry or t-shirts that say what we are. They know. And they knew this man was a disciple of Christ. And they treated it as though their following Moses was greater than him following Christ, not knowing that had they known Moses, they would know and love Christ. But this blind man stuck to his guns. I don't know all these things, but I know what this man did for me. Those Pharisees, on a different tip. Be provoked, be persuaded.